2. What's up, everybody? This is Lisa.
And I'm Lonie.
And this is A Whole Mom. A Whole Mom is dedicated to those of us who deal with the everyday struggles of adulting in addition to being a whole mom out here.
Okay.
So we usually like to kick it off with a little check-in. So, friend, how are you this week?
So far, I'm pretty good.
Okay.
I'm in a good space right now.
Good.
So,
look at you doing good.
Doing all right. Today was a pretty decent day.
Okay.
I mean, a good space.
Okay.
Just leave it at that.
I had an interesting week this past week. It seemed like a lot of people around me were in crisis. And was it like Thursday? Thursday. Everybody's emotions were everywhere. I also, like, before that happened, though, I had, things had been going really well for me all day. And I was like, okay, God, look at this. And then, halfway through the day, everything went crazy for everybody else. But because I had a good day, I was able to be supportive of everybody else. So that was good. I think I woke up with an emotional support hangover Friday though. Yeah. And I was like, why do I feel so heavy?
Yeah.
But the weekend was good to me and I feel good.
Good.
So
I'm trying to think, did I have a crisis Thursday?
No, you didn't.
Okay.
It was everybody else. But yeah.
I feel that. I'm definitely and y'all excuse me because my voice is in and out. I've been screaming at a football game half the weekend. Woo-hoo. But yeah, I think a lot of the time what I'll do is when I spend extra time in the morning, meditating and setting the tone for the day, I feel like I'm preparing myself because some shit about to go down. And that is typically what happens.
Right.
So, I think I had one of those days last week.
Bruh.
It is what it is. It was what it was. It might have been a Monday.
The week was really busy for me too this past week. I was pop, 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 pop. Getting things done, but that Thursday was whew, child. Oh, and I got my Fauci ouchie. I know. My arm, I think it's back to normal now, but it was hurting.
I heard.
Yeah, it was bad. I didn't have any other symptoms though.
That's good.
Yeah. So
okay.
I'm out here in these streets. Okay, so we talked a little bit about the prospect of us sharing our parenting journeys last time. And then I kind of pushed my friend in the pool. So
she's going to drill me today, y'all.
She has agreed to share her personal story today. So, do you want to do a little bit of background? You want to just hop into it?
Girl, we're just going to hop into it.
Okay. Do you want to share our connection?
I mean, for people that don't know us, I don't even think that's relevant.
Okay.
Is it?
Not really.
We could share, but
I mean, yeah, whatever. Anyway.
That's what it is.
Okay. Yeah. So,
Lisa's about to ask me several questions, and I'm going to allow you guys into my personal space.
This is big.
Okay.
This is huge. Also, friend, if at any time you don't want to answer a question, you have a right to refuse.
Girl, do I?
I just wanted to make sure.
I don't want to talk about it.
I just wanted to make sure that was clear because I am nosy and I'm also super open book generally. So if I ask any questions that are outside of the scope,
I'm an open book. If I'm having a conversation with someone anyway.
Yes.
I don't necessarily feel the need to volunteer information, but
yeah.
I mean, I've been known to do that too from time to time.
You know, I'll tell my business. I don't mind.
You know,
I just be trying to consider how much of my business is other people's business when I be trying to decipher what exactly I'm saying. So when I do this, I don't know.
She finna ask me to talk about my feelings and stuff.
Yes. So the focus is more on like how she's felt at various stages of things and kind of like how she handled things and all that, but it's not like, oh, when did your baby learn to walk or whatever. Like, no, that's not what it's about.
Because at this point,
yeah, who even remembers that?
Right before they were 1 or right after? I mean,
okay, so friend, when you first got pregnant, how old were you? Let's start there.
When I first found out, I was 17.
Okay.
In the 12th grade.
Right. So, with that, how did you feel when you found out?
Girl, scared.
Will you share?
Insane.
How you, like,
Freaked
what
out.
happened?
Explain what?
Like, not like what happened, because obviously, but like when you realize, like, I could be pregnant. Like, what is the...
For real?
Yeah.
One morning I was getting ready for school, and it was like right before I was leaving the house to go get on the bus, and I had to throw up. I threw up out my bedroom window. And I was like, oh my God. I think that was the moment.
When you were like, oh, this is...
Yeah, and then I remember, like, I was on Color Guard, and so we had a competition, like, and then after competition, we went to Busch Gardens or something, and I was freaking out because I was like, I rode roller coasters. Now my baby's gonna die.
Wow, friend. Wow.
But I had a really bad headache that day too, so I just started thinking of like all the things. And then I didn't have a period. Like, what in the world?
Yeah. So how far along were you do you know how far along you were when you realized?
Jaden is 16.
Yeah,
almost.
You're right.
He's
okay.
this close to 16.
So you took a pregnancy test.
I did. And so how that happened, it wasn't like I could go to the store and buy one. So one of my friends' mom was a nurse, and so she brought me one. Girl, I took that test in the bathroom at school.
For real?
I did. Girl, I thought I was going to die in that bathroom.
You found out at school?
Like, the positive test at school. Like,
Do you remember, like, what time of day it was? Because I would have had to leave.
I feel like it was between morning and lunch. I think it was in the morning.
What? You went through the rest of the day?
Girl, I'd have been through some shit.
I would have left. I would have walked out of the door.
Leave?
I would have straight walked out the door.
It wasn't like I was driving.
Oh, my God. Oh, that's traumatic. Okay.
You never know, like, how much you've been through until, like, you're talking to someone and you're telling them your story, but you're just telling it like it's nothing.
Yeah, you freaking found out at school, bruh. I didn't know that part.
And I'm not even going to, like, get into all the gory details of, like, the conversations that I had with my son's father. Like, right after. Did you have a phone? I probably had his phone.
Okay. You better have his phone.
All the time. I had his phone a lot. I can't remember, like, that day specifically, though. Wow. It might have been, like, after school when I told him. Are you serious? No, I'm just gonna lie.
That's crazy. Wow.
My friend is like shocked.
Are you okay? That's
okay.
Wild. I can't imagine. I was probably like at lunch living my best life. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So what went through your mind when I know you were scared and you had all these emotions, but like what? Like,
my mom's gonna kill me.
Okay.
Like, what am I gonna do? Like, and honestly, like, if we gonna be for real, I was like, how am I gonna get an abortion? Like, and how am I gonna pay for it? And I feel so bad saying that out loud.
I mean, that's an honest thought. I would have definitely thought about that.
Yeah, I feel so bad.
I think that would have been the first thought in my mind. So
She's such a great kid, but you know.
I mean, you were a kid yourself.
I was. You know, I was talking to somebody a few weeks ago, and they were like, you know, I was like, I've been a parent my entire adult life, and they were like, yeah, wow, like, your son grew up with you. And so I never really thought about it that way, and I was just like, yeah.
Yeah.
When I'm really, you know, growing up and learning how to be an adult, like I'm raising someone.
Right.
Trying to teach them the ways of life.
Well, you just barely left.
Barely know it
school.
myself.
Yeah. Ooh, child. Okay. How do you think your upbringing impacted those initial feelings that you had?
Talk about being raised religiously.
You say you wore skirts forever?
Girl. My friend is laughing at me.
I'm sorry. I'm just imagining you with those long jean skirts.
Girl. Half of them weren't even jeans. They were the ones with the little flowers on it. Kind of like this shirt.
Oh my God.
But
the
it was
floral
like
skirts? Oh God.
My friend is clowning me right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Talk about having to do. Well, I mean, that was before I came to this school.
Okay. So when you got to our school,
I think like we stopped. It was no longer a requirement.
Okay.
Somewhere between 9th and 10th grade.
Okay. You got there in 10th grade, right?
11. Like halfway through my 11.
Okay.
It's trash.
Okay.
But yeah, so the upbringing portion of it, like anyone who has been raised in the church like so religiously, like it's automatic guilt and shame. But the thing about it is, like, everybody tells you, you know, don't have sex. Like, sex is bad and all these things. If you have sex, I'll break your legs. But nobody is telling you, like, if you do decide to have sex, like, you want to be safe, you want to do this and you want to do that. It's just like, don't do it. So Period. We're all like Eve.
Honey.
Let me get that fruit right there.
Relax.
Okay.
Let me get that thong.
I mean, but you know, like, it's no one like really teaches you how to deal with like your natural feelings and natural urges and things like that. It's just like, no, this is forbidden. And so I'm frowning, and that's giving me a headache.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it's like. It was a lot of guilt and shame, and I can't tell anyone. But I feel like I've also been that type of person where I'm like going through my mind like, let me figure this out. I'm very much so I'll figure it out myself.
Right.
I'm going to get it done. I'm still that person. So I can't like run here or run there because I got to figure it out.
So when did you actually tell
my mom? So
did you tell other people? I'm sure you told somebody before you told your mom. Mm-hmm. Who? All right. So what was the order of operations?
Well, first of all, I told the dad.
Yes.
And of course, my friend that brought me the test. I was scared, and so she brought the test. I mean, she didn't know before he did. You know, I told him like, I'm gonna get her to bring me a test. I'll let you know.
That's
but yeah,
wild.
I don't remember who else. Probably like one of my cousins.
Okay. At what point did you tell your mother?
I think I was like 4 or 5 months maybe. I was further along. But I think she had already noticed because like I would have headaches or I'd be tired and like taking naps after school and stuff like that. And so like a part of her already knew. But I couldn't tell her verbally. Like I had to write her a letter.
You wrote her a letter?
I did.
You did tell me this. So what was her reaction? Did your sisters know?
Mm, I might have told my younger sister. Definitely didn't tell my older sister. I don't even remember. Like, it's been so daggone long ago.
So you wrote a letter.
Mhm.
You like left it in her room.
Actually, I don't think I told either one of them. I don't think. I wrote the letter. I might have handed it to her. I don't remember. I just know I wrote the letter. And I might have given it to her. I might have left it somewhere. I don't know.
Wow.
There was no way that could come out of my mouth.
Did you stand there?
Girl, no, I didn't stand there while she read it.
You was like,
maybe I sat somewhere.
Gone.
I don't know.
You was in the house though.
Yeah.
I would have left.
Where was I going?
I don't know.
Girl, I didn't have that type of freedom.
Oh yeah.
Hence the sneaking.
Okay.
Girl couldn't do nothing.
Her reaction. Share as you feel comfortable, friend.
So, my mom is a very like cool, calm, and collective person. So she was pretty. What she showed was pretty. But you know, she definitely let me know that she was disappointed. But from what I can remember, she also like made me feel like very ashamed. So, yeah.
So do you feel like, how was the experience of that pregnancy with like,
oh girl, it was
like, not only are you a senior in school, but there's all this other mess. Not mess, but like all this other stuff on top of it.
I was a senior in high school making straight A's, a part of the National Honor Society. I remember writing a letter explaining how I would be an example to, I don't like the head of the National Honor Society, so I wouldn't get kicked out.
Wow.
So like how me being pregnant and continuing to make good grades and different things like that could, you know, like potentially set an example for other people. Like, despite all of these things, I'm maintaining everything that I did before I got pregnant. And so, yeah, I didn't get kicked out. I also remember...
They were talking about kicking you out?
I don't know if they were, or I was like, let me do this. So I don't. So I'm like doing all the proper things. I remember one day being like pulled out of class, and I don't remember who it was, but to be asked if I wanted to go to a different school. And I was like, no way. My mom was also like, no way.
I had heard that they were like insurance stuff or whatever.
I don't know what it was, but you know, like we were just like, you know, I was also enrolled in college courses, and so like there's no way like I am coming out of the school and like forfeiting my advanced diploma, these college courses, whatever else, so it doesn't look bad on y'all or whatever. So yeah.
Were you applying to schools still, or were you kind of like,
girl, like no. I don't even remember applying to anything. I don't remember really being asked. It was like very close to the end of the year where I just applied to a local college, a local university. And that's not even where I ended up going. So, yeah, like I don't really remember anybody asking or helping.
Yeah, I did not know a whole lot.
So a lot of everything that I've done on my own, like, you know, like researching colleges to go to. And I'm not saying like I didn't have, you know, supportive family or friends and different stuff like that, but it was definitely like me. So.
Okay, friend. How like, what was your support system like going through your pregnancy? And then even on the other side of that, like, what did it...
I feel like, everyone was supportive, but it was also like I'm supportive because, like, I have to be. Like, this is my family, or, there was still, like, this heaviness. It was like you still felt so much shame and guilt.
Even though people were like, oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, like, imagine going from 120 pounds to 160, like, your nose is spread across your face.
My friend was swole.
This is your senior year. Like, I got, like, really dark. And just, like, looking at yourself, like,
yeah,
gosh,
this is different. So, did you do, like, prom or...
So my senior year,
stuff?
I did not do prom. Thankfully, I got to go my junior year. But yeah, I wasn't really that pressed my senior year about going. I was also put on bed rest pretty early, and so the only thing I could do was go to school. That at one point, we lived in a really big house, and so at one point, like, I had really bad cramps in the middle of the nights, and so my mom actually moved her bed or a bed into my bedroom to, like, help me out at nighttime. Like, she would literally, like, rub my legs when I caught cramps. Like, it was that bad. Because her bedroom was downstairs, and so she moved upstairs for a while. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I did this panel with this woman a few weeks ago, and she had her child when she was a teenager too, and she was like, one thing that she said that I was like, wow, I never thought about that, because she talked about, like, the stigma of being a teen mom, and then she said, as long as people can do math, I will always be a teen mom, and, like, that stigma will follow me. How did you feel? Like, I mean, well, you've kind of explained, like, ashamed and, guilty and all that. But, like, as far as that stigma is concerned, how do you feel now, like, looking back at yourself and, like, where you are? And, like, what you've accomplished and knowing your baby's about to be 16.
I think my son, because... and I'll talk about my oldest son because he's the one that I had when I was a teenager. He just makes it all better. Like, the person that he is and the person that I've grown to be, like, being his mom, just makes it all better. Like, I could care less at this point because he's just this amazing human. Yeah. Like, back then, I did, like, feel super, super guilty and ashamed, terrified. I feel like, like, my emotions were all over the place too. And I think about it sometimes, like, part of the time, like, I pushed his dad away. Like, part of me is, like, blaming his dad. So I do feel, I have apologized to him for that too. Like, I feel bad. Because of all of that guilt and shame, like, how things turned out with us, like I get it, I understand, but yeah, like, that makes me feel bad, but I feel like we have definitely, like, all learned and grown from that, and so we all have a really good relationship now. I mean, we go through our ups and downs. Like, right. You getting on my nerves.
Yeah.
So go on. Like, I'm not talking to you today or whatever. And
not doing this with you.
But, like, we can all hang out. We can all, like, play games, family game night or whatever together. Just sit around the room and talk. And that's with all the kids.
That's beautiful.
Like, now I feel like, and maybe it's even a little cocky, like, I feel great because of the young man that he is. Like we worked really hard, and he's so humble and like grateful and understanding, and he's like, it's okay, mom. Like I feel like we do try to give him a lot, but at the same time, when he doesn't get everything that he wants, which is not that often, he's like, it's okay. Like if you need to, use your money to do something else, then, like I don't need to have this right now. So, yeah. He the shit.
So, what are your conversations with him like, because he's about to be 16, as far as like sex and relationships and all that?
Oh, I'm just like, because he's so humble, and a lot of times he doesn't say or verbalize a lot, and so I'm just like, Jaden, you better not let anybody take advantage of you. And that was so funny because I was thinking about that earlier today, like just thinking about what we were going to talk about, and I was just like, because if anybody comes at you, just know you got a little firecracker behind you, okay? Because I'm coming. And he knows that. And I'll send him random text messages, and, I'll just say random things. And he, behind this one, y'all already know how I'm coming. And like he'll do the little smirk. Because I think, like deep down he loves it. He know that. And he knows, like I'll say, Jay, I don't play about you, right? He'd be like, I know, Mom. But,
that's really how he sounds.
Yeah. Yeah. What was the question again? I think I answered it.
It was, what are your conversations surrounding sex or like potential pregnancies and etc.?
Sex and relationships. Do it with someone that you care about. Make sure, you feel ready. Like, don't be pressured into it. Make sure you're being safe. So we talk about like all of the things. We talk about diseases. We talk about, being respectful. We talk about making sure you have permission. If at any point,
consent,
she doesn't want to, or if you don't want to, like,
you can back out at any time.
Right. And that's that. I was looking for that word and I just couldn't find it. Consent.
Okay.
All of the things. We talk about all of the things. Yeah.
Okay. How was postpartum for you? Do you remember? Probably not, right?
I feel like
if it wasn't especially difficult, then you might not remember.
I feel like deep down, there were some things. Definitely like feeling, I don't even know the word. Just really feeling some type of way, insecure about my body, for one.
Yeah,
like,
I how am I gonna having been that young?
How am I gonna get the rest of this little piece of stomach off?
Not the rest of this little piece of stomach.
Little piece of stomach, like, how am I gonna get that off? And then all of the, relationship things. So trying to figure out how to be a teen parent with another teen, and how to be in a relationship that, the people around you don't really want you in any, to begin with. Yeah. So also to think about like all the pressures and things that he had, like coming from both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's trash.
That would have been hard AF.
We survived.
Y'all did survive.
We survived.
Congratulations.
I still think he doesn't feel like I understand him to this day, which I think I understand. But, me, when it comes to my kid, like, there's not a whole there's not a whole lot of room for,
I mean, that's understandable.
So as parents, like, I'm going to give you some grace, but I'm also going to be hard on you because ultimately it's the child that could potentially suffer. And so, sometimes that's where we bump heads. I'll be like, you can't do this because our kid is watching. So I'm going to need for you to do A, B, C, and D. So I'm very verbal when it comes to things like that. And I try to be respectful 98% of the time. But then there's that 2% where something happens and you didn't, like all of the everything comes off and I'm strictly Jaden's mom. And I'm going off.
Tunnel vision, baby.
Period. So, yeah.
Okay, so you have Jay. You get through your postpartum. You figure out, okay, maybe this relationship is not working out with his dad. You move on. You're in a new relationship. You guys kind of become a blended family. Like, how? So my first thought is, I'm sorry because I'm having lots of thoughts. My first thought is that I don't know what my mindset would be as far as dating at a young age, but also with a child.
So I was.
Oh, your phone's blowing up.
So I was 21 when I started dating Elijah's dad. Yeah, I just turned 21, so it wasn't like horrible. Jaden was 3.
It wasn't horrible. Yeah, you weren't super young, but that's pretty young.
I mean, and I really wasn't I wasn't going out partying or anything. I was working 2 jobs. I was going to school and still trying to date and be a mom. What?
At 21.
It sounds crazy now that I say it out loud.
Yeah. At 21.
Yeah.
So
Jaden, he was a very, is it okay to say easy child?
Sure.
He was very content. And so if I did want to go out, maybe I'd ask one of his grandmas to watch him or an aunt, whether it be my sisters, his. But like I said, I really wasn't going out. So if I was asking somebody to watch Jaden, it was more so because I had to work or if I had to go to school. I remember one time, and this was pretty early, like after I had started dating Elijah's dad, I asked him to watch Jaden because I had to work my second job that afternoon. And I was just like, oh God.
What did he watch?
Am I really doing this? He did.
Wow.
He did. But, yeah, he was really good with Jaden. There weren't any issues, as far as, he came with the package. And, they still have a relationship to this day. So,
was that a huge part of it for you? That he be good with him? I'm assuming, but I don't know. Going into dating, were you okay?
I don't think so.
Okay, because that's what I was thinking. Now I feel like that would be important, but I'm 21. I might not be pressed.
No. Maybe that's a little selfish.
I mean, that's real though. Because I also was
Back then, no. I mean, I was watching to see if he was going to be bad with him.
Yeah.
But, no. His family was accepting. I mean, it was just never really an issue. I remember one time me and Jaden's dad were arguing on the phone and he heard it and he called me an idiot. And so Elijah's dad was he ain't have to call you an idiot though, getting really mad. And so I appreciated that.
He was yeah.
Okay.
Fight him. Fight my baby daddy.
I never wanted that. I never wanted that. They never had any issues with
me. That was going to be my next question what was that?
I never put them in any type of position where there would be any type of animosity issues or anything.
Was that a conversation or did it just happen like that?
I think it just happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm really proud of that.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah. Especially that young too.
I mean, but like once things were cut off, they were cut off. Like everybody has gone their separate ways. You know, everybody's in new or different relationships, so
it was good.
It was what it was.
Okay, so baby number 2. Mm-hmm. When did you find out? Or how old were you?
I was 21. 21. I was 22 when I had... No. I was 21.
Okay.
All of our birthdays are in June. And so after my first
Myrtle.
After Jaden, I turned 18 4 days after Jaden was born. And I turned 22 like 2 weeks after Elijah was born.
Okay. So how was... That was a surprise or planned?
Definitely a surprise.
Okay.
Girl. If I tell the whole story.
Tell the whole story.
Y'all have to be forgiving of the people in the story.
Okay.
Okay? Because, you know, it is what it is. So, yeah, like I found out. And one of my best friends at the time, I think like we went to the store. We got the test. And she was in the bathroom with me. And I was at home. Took the test. It might have been more than one. I don't remember. And she probably was like, bitch. Like for real. Like this is literally what happened. So yeah.
You gotta tell me what it was, lady.
And then I ended up making an appointment. So now I kind of know what to do. Mm-hmm. So I called my OB. Made the appointment. Started buying some bigger shirts. And I really hadn't even, you know, started to show or anything. But after that appointment, I think I, you know, went home and maybe put the papers in my drawer. Or
did you tell his daddy?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, I'm
sorry.
At what point did you tell him?
I skipped that part. So
okay,
yeah, I told him immediately.
Okay,
and so he was like, "What?" He was happy.
Were y'all living together at this point?
No.
Okay.
So he was happy. He was excited, and I'm just like, I don't even know if I want to have this baby either. Love him to death. Okay. I wouldn't trade my kids for the world. But like this is, you know, this is the stuff that goes through your head.
Definitely.
So yeah, I told him. He was excited. Made the appointment. He was there like all the appointments.
You came home and
put those papers in the drawer on the dresser.
In your mother's home.
In my mom's home.
Okay.
In my room, which is upstairs. I got a call like later that day, maybe the next day or something. Someone told my mom because they saw the papers in my room. And I'm pretty sure I put those papers in my drawer. At no point should anyone have been in my room.
Sisters.
To do that. So, told my mom. I don't think my mom said anything like right off the bat. It might have been like maybe a couple days, maybe a week later. Like I'm getting ready for work and I had to go in her room to get something. And she made a comment about like my big shirt. I mean, when the shirt was just basically a loose fitting shirt. Mm-hmm. It was a comfortable loose shirt.
Slick. What'd you say?
And so I feel like I said something like, yeah. It wasn't that big. It wasn't that serious. You know, some things changed after that too, which I won't get into all of that.
Okay.
But yeah. It wasn't, I didn't feel as bad the second time because, you know, like I was working 2 jobs. I was going to school. Yes, I was still at my mom's house, but there was a lot that, like I did at my mom's house. So,
Right.
I had responsibilities. I was helping out, whatever. But,
You was grown.
yeah. But I knew that, I'm going to have to get out of here soon.
Right.
And so I moved out when I was 23. So a year later, I moved out. Of course, she was like very helpful. And what I did was, while I was working those 2 jobs, I worked in a retail store. So like I bought stuff for the house that year, like leading up to like before I left. But yeah.
So were y'all
felt much more supported
the second time
around? Yeah.
Why?
I guess because I was grown.
You just felt more secure in your situation.
Definitely more secure in myself, in the situation. I mean, I was still scared.
Right.
Still feeling a lot of things, but I think there was less strain on the relationship itself also, I think.
And you were older, so.
Yeah. So nobody's like coming in and saying, oh, like y'all are kids and you can't do it. Or like y'all shouldn't be together, or, like just dumb stuff like that.
So when you moved out, y'all moved in together?
No.
Tell me more.
I think we had broken up at the time or been on some kind of break or something. So
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I thought y'all just moved in together.
No, we had started like looking for places together while I was pregnant, but I definitely have like always had a fear of like, moving in with someone and depending on somebody else's income to, have this place to live at. So I've always been, wherever I am, I have to be able to maintain that by myself.
My friend.
That's just how I was raised.
We'll get into that another day.
Yeah. What is that? Hyper independent? It is what it is.
Oh, is that hyper independence? I mean, that's also smart.
It hasn't hurt me so far.
It's kind of smart.
It hasn't hurt me so far. So.
Okay.
2 totally different experiences both times.
Yes.
2 great kids both times.
So, wow, because initially I was thinking that you guys just moved in together. So how was that, moving to your own place as a single mom with 2 kids now at 23?
It's scary. Like being on your own for the first time and with 2 kids.
Yes.
It was scary, but it was also like very liberating at the same time.
And I'm assuming that your support system only grew with the addition of a second child. No?
Grew? Or
just like, because his family.
Well, yeah.
Because I'm just thinking about who watching these kids, and you working 2 jobs.
Well, like they were in daycare.
Okay.
There was a lot of ripping and running.
Hooping
and hollering, ripping and running, back and forth, trying to, make sure they were at daycare, or, if I had to work in the evening or school in the evening, whatever.
My head is spinning.
Yeah, it was a lot. It's okay, though.
Okay.
I don't feel like I've really slowed down yet. Because now they're in sports, and so it's like...
Yeah, you just been used to it. So you was like, okay, add some things on this plate.
Yeah.
So do you feel like there are any difficulties that you faced at that point that were like specific to you as far as like being a young mom, or did you just kind of feel like we got this? This is just everyday mom stuff.
I feel like a lot of things I just had to figure out for myself. So much was like trial and error. Because there was like no one that like took my hand and said, hey, like, these resources are out here. Like, maybe you should try this. So, like, something that would have put me in a position now to be, further along than I am. So it was just a lot of figuring things out, messing up my credit, like all kinds of stuff.
And it's like, so many of us have had the privilege to do these things as a single. But like, you was out here fucking up your credit with 2 kids depending on you.
Everything I've done
with them kids
with
in
those
tow.
Children. With those children.
And look at them.
They're great.
Just out here being little grown people in the world.
They're great.
Do you ever just like feel yourself? Like, do you look in the mirror and be like, wow?
Every now and then.
Yes.
Every now and then I'm like, girl, you doing it. But I think even more often I feel like, people will give me a compliment. And I'm like, for real?
Of course.
Yeah, I'm like, for real? You think so? I think I also minimize.
Yes.
So I'm like, like it's just because I've been doing it so long, I guess I'm just like, oh, that's just life. That's what it's supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to look like. So, yeah, it's been my life, my whole life.
Wow.
She's making me unpack things.
I'm just because I couldn't imagine. I was pregnant at 26 and had my baby at 27. And I was going nuts then. So I can imagine a decade prior. Wow, friend. You're amazing.
Thank you.
You really are.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to share or add? I learned some stuff today.
Excuse me. I don't know.
Special shout out to the teen moms out there.
Right. I don't think I have anything like real inspirational to say, and normally I do.
Normally I'm an inspirational.
I don't know. I mean, I guess like I would say if you are out there and you know any teen moms, like they're going through enough already. Like just try to be supportive. Try to like help them out, teach them things. Not necessarily that you have to give, because I feel like that's what happens a lot of time. Like, a lot of things are given, which is fine. But also make sure that you're teaching them, providing them with the resources or how to connect with those resources so that they aren't in their 30s trying to like really get it together. So that they don't have to struggle as much with those kids. Don't kick them kids out. So that's one thing that I never had to deal with. Like my mom didn't kick me out. So yeah, just be supportive and understanding. As you're raising kids, like talk to them about all the things. Create the space and the environment for your kids to be able to have those conversations with you. I'm not saying that my kids are perfect, and I'm not saying that, something might not blow up in my face, but, I feel confident in, like having those specific conversations and creating that environment for my kids to feel comfortable coming to me with those hard things. Like, because who can, like, honestly say that? Oh, like, I can go to my parent about anything.
Exactly.
Not many. So, yeah. It's important.
Okay, one more question. If you could go back to, I'm trying to decide, your 17-year-old self or your 22-year-old self. You can pick. And Like when she was looking at that pregnancy test, or when she was about to tell your mom, or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, what would you say to her?
Bruh, I don't know.
I knew it.
Yeah. That's tough.
It is. Okay.
What am I going to say this is?
What are you going to say?
I don't know. I guess I would go back to 17.
In that bathroom.
You know what I think I would really say? Is use your, like, find your resources and use them. Use the hell out of them. Mm-hmm. You know?
Oh, and I feel like that's hard because you don't know what you don't know. Like, you don't know what to look for. Mm-hmm. You're just trying to survive.
Exactly. I grew up in surviving.
Yeah.
I'm just now, like, trying to, like, actually live or feeling like I can. Yeah. And I don't have to just survive.
I love you, friend.
I love you, too. Yeah.
Well, man, she was in the bathroom the whole time I was in math class.
Freaking out. Probably throwing up. And more so throwing up from anxiety than, girl.
Wow. Shout out.
This is also one thing that I remember. That's when I just knew I was strong. But who says being strong was such a compliment? Like, I remember, you know, like, when I started to show, it's not like when I went to that school, I didn't have a lot of friends anyways.
Yeah.
Like, one.
The one that brought you the test?
No. Well, like, I'm just thinking about, like, you know, people to eat lunch with. Like,
oh, yeah.
And people that stop talking to you. Or stop hanging out with you. So I remember, like, eating meals by myself. And I was just like, oh. So first of all, you made me move up here to this dumb school. Now I'm pregnant. And now I'm sitting here eating breakfast and lunch by myself. Well, my little sister might have been there for breakfast. But then, like, also, I will add this, like, I feel bad because it was almost like my little sister had to be my best friend, or, you know, like the pressures that were put on her. And so we've talked about it, like, a little bit. I feel like she was kind of disappointed in me too, a little bit. So we didn't even talk about this until maybe last year or a couple years ago.
Wow.
Like how she felt, what it was like for her. So yeah.
I didn't even think about that. Did y'all eat in the senior lounge? Did you eat in the senior lounge? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't even eat up there.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was better to eat up there than like down
there with everybody,
with all these people, and you know, it was easy to find a table up there. So let me just go up here and mind my business.
Yeah. Yeah, my friends were a band of misfits. I had gotten in the theater. It was a weird time. Wow.
Yeah. Too bad we weren't friends back then.
Right?
What the F?
Missed my chance to be Jaden's godmom.
He can be that now. It's never too late.
That's wild.
He loves having extra people to call. And don't think he won't. Can you bring me some lunch?
That's precious. I would definitely bring him some lunch.
Let me give him your number. Call Lisa.
Tell him to call me. You know I'll be on the road anyway in the middle of the day.
He is a hot mess.
That's so precious.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, friend.
Yeah. So I just allowed y'all all up in my business, up in my space.
This was huge, people.
So I hope that
appreciate it.
Yeah.
I
hope that you guys can take something away from my little simple life.
I took simple. First of all, this woman is ambitious.
Thank you.
She's freaking driven. She's...
Don't be feeling it sometimes.
Girl!
Imposter syndrome.
Yes! Like, the amount of work that it took for you to, like, do the things that you did. That's what it is for me, because I would have been like...
You know what? Some things took a long time.
Yes!
It really did.
I would have been in the floor crying.
I mean, I had my share of tears.
I just don't feel like I would have accomplished much. Like, I just would have been focused on, like, this is hard. I don't want to. I don't know.
No, you won't.
Who am I to say?
When that's, like, it's always been, like, the only choice I've had.
Facts.
I sounded real country, but...
Wow.
What else was I supposed to do? Just lie down and die?
We done got dramatic now.
I mean, yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm proud of you, friend.
Thank you.
I hope you're proud of yourself.
I am.
You're amazing.
Most of the time. Thank you.
She's amazing.
Don't give up, guys. Even when
Yes.
it seems like it's taking forever to reach that goal. Keep going.
You can do hard things.
Mm.
Period.
I have some hard things to do now.
Please.
Let me get it together.
Don't remind me. All right, friends. Thank you for being here. Thanks for taking this journey with us.
Absolutely. Next week is her turn.
Thanks for answering my questions. Yeah, next week I'll spill my tea.
Oh, we didn't talk about the... We'll talk about it next week.
Okay.
When we see y'all. So I'll start off.
Okay.
And then we'll get into your journey.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.